Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for Tuesday, October 20th, 2015, around 7:24 in the morning, Billerica, Massachusetts. Going to be a mix of sun and clouds today. Highs about 60 if we could get any sun out. It's going to be a seasonably good day out. Get out and enjoy it because you won't have too many 60-degree days left of the year. Foliage is coming real nice around here. It's almost peaking and stuff. But, you know, the leaves are being like on the ground and stuff, on the grass. And soon you'll have to be raking them up and composting them for a better future. Some news to report. The Boston Celtics beat Brooklyn Nets by the score of 105 last night in preseason basketball. The Toronto Blue Jays beat the Kansas City Royals by the score of 11-8 in Game 3 of the American League Championship Series. The Royals' lead has been cut down to 2-1, and Justin Trudeau is the new Prime Minister of Canada. He was elected last night, and Iron Eagle and Dan Phelps will be calling the Patriots-Jets game on CBS Sunday at 1 p.m. You can catch the game locally on WBZ TV4 and WCBS in New York. I don't think WKMG News 6 in Orlando, Florida will be carrying that game because I think that's Jaguars territory and stuff like that. I had to get a plug because Julie Broughton works for News 6 Orlando, Florida as the anchor, and I have to get a plug in for her tonight at around 7:10. She does those Facebook chats. I'll probably be mentioned again if there's time. And that's about it on that. My first video blog of the day is my review of Halloween Havoc 1990 WCW pay-per-view, which emanated from that year from the UIC Pavilion in Chicago, Illinois. The main event was for the WCW World Championship, Sting facing off against the Master and the ruler of the world, Sid Vicious. It was a controversial, screwy ending to this WCW title match. Plus, there was other great matches on the card. There were 2 dark matches just to be shown to the fans at the UIC Pavilion. The first one was White Lightning Tim Horner defeating Barry Horowitz. That's what Barry Horowitz used to do. It was just a preliminary match. And the next match was Rip Rogers defeating Reno Wiggins. But these were like jobber matches and stuff. They weren't shown on the pay-per-view. And the pay-per-view was called by good old JR, Jim Ross, and Paul Heyman, which was known as Paulie Dangerously. Jim Ross was probably the first Paul Heyman guy. That's how I am a Julie Brennan guy from Paul Heyman. And here were some matches that are on the pay-per-view. First match was a tag team match. It was Ricky Morton and Tommy Wildfire Rich substituting for Robert Gibson. It was supposed to be the Rock and Roll Express against the Mennonite Express, Beautiful Bobby and Sweet Stan with Jim Cornette. But Robert Gibson blew out his knee and he was out for several months. So Tommy Rich had to take Robert Gibson's place. And this was a classic tag team match, about 20 minutes. They had Steve Armstrong of the Southern Boys interfere. He dressed up as James E. Cornette. And the ending had Tommy Wildfire Rich hit Stan Lane with the tennis racket. The referee wasn't seeing it. There couldn't be a disqualification if the referee doesn't see that. It's legal. And Tommy Rich pinned Stan Lane for the 1, 2, 3. This was a great match. This was the Midnight Express's final WCW match. They left soon afterwards, Stan Lane and Jim Cornette, but Bobby Eaton stayed. The next match was Terry Taylor facing off against Wild Bill Irwin. This was about an 11-minute match. It was just basically a match to showcase Terry Taylor. He won with the 5-arm. In this match, legendary Chicago Cubs announcer Jack Brickhouse was doing guest commentating because Jack Brickhouse did some commentary for WCW Pro in Chicago, which was shown on WGN and WGN Superstation around this time. And Jack Brickhouse famous quote is, "Hey, hey! Holy mackerel!" The next match was J.W. Storm facing off against the Candyman, Brad Armstrong. The Candyman can. This was one of Brad Armstrong's gimmicks. And J.W. Storm was being pushed. They were pushing him WCW as kind of something, a mid-card heel and stuff. This was about 5 minutes. The Candyman beats J.W. Storm with the 1, 2, 3. It was a big upset and stuff because I thought J.W. Storm was going over, but J.W. Storm left WCW soon afterwards. And I don't know why. Next was the Master Blasters, Blade and Steel, facing off against the Southern Boys, Tracy Smothers, and Steve Armstrong. And one of the Master Blasters was Kevin Nash. They had face paint. They were like Road Warrior rip-ups. Another Road Warrior rip-up. It was about a 7-minute match. Steel pin. Steve Armstrong was interference by James E. Cornette. And he was on the commentating booth blasting Southern Boys and stuff. The next match were the Fabulous Freebirds, Michael P.S. Hayes, and Jimmy Jam Garvin with Richard Marley, but he was actually Rocky King, who got Richard Marley's name, facing off against the Renegade Warriors, who were Mark and Chris Youngblood. They were related to late Jay Youngblood, former NWA World Tag Team Champion with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. They were brothers. This was like a 17-minute match and stuff. The Freebirds and Renegade Warriors were decent, but both were mid-card teams at best. This was when the Fabulous Freebirds were just becoming comedy acts, which, wasn't good because they were one of the best tag teams of all time. The Freebirds won this match when Garvin pinned Chris Youngblood with the DDT. Michael Hayes interfered and stuff. Yeah, was an awful match. Next match was for the WCW World Tag Team Championships. It was the Steiner brothers, Rick and Steiner, facing off against Knobs and Sags the Nasty Bailey's. You're going to Nastyville! You're going to Nastyville! And that's one trip you're never coming back from. This was a great tag team match. The Nasty Boys attacked the Steiners before the match. Running Rick Steiner into the ring post. It was back and forth. But the Steiners won. Scott pinned Knobs with the Frankensteiner, and this match also had the first time the Steiners did the Bulldog off the top rope. Pretty amazing. The Steiners were real good at this point. The Nasty Boys left soon left WCW to go to WWE, and they become WWE Tag Team Champions. The next match was the Junkyard Dog facing off against Moondog Rascals. It was about a 3-minute match. It was awful. Junkyard Dog beats Moondog Rex with the headbutt. This is when Junkyard Dog was over 300 pounds, and he was called by many people the Junk Food Dog. Awful match. Junkyard Dog was way past his prime and stuff. Why did this match belong on the pay-per-view? Who knows? Just to kill off time. The next match was for the WCW World Tag Team Championship. It was Doom, who were the current WCW Tag Team Champions, Butch Reed and Ron Simmons, with the Godfather, Teddy Long. Let me hear you, player! Facing off against two members of the Four Horsemen, Nature Boy Ric Flair, whoa! And WCW World Television Champion at this time, Arn Anderson. Both teams were heels, but it seemed like the Horsemen were playing de facto faces. This was an 18-minute match, and it was a brawl and stuff. All four wrestlers were outside the ring. The referee was counting to 10. He called for the bell. He counted out both teams. Doom retained the WCW World Tag Team Championships, but titles cannot change hands when it's a countout or disqualification or draw. The only way a title changes hands if it's a pinfall or submission. So Doom retains the WCW World Tag Team Championship. The next match was for the WCW United States Championship. It was the total package Lex Luger, who was WCW United States Champion, at this time, facing off against the man from Bogus, Texas, Stan the Lariat Hansen. And this was a good match and stuff, about 9 minutes and stuff. Ending of this match had Dangerous Stan Spivey, who's known in the WWE for Waylon Mercy's lives are gonna be in Waylon Mercy's hands. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Dangerous Stan Spivey threw the cowbell at Stan Hansen. The referee wasn't looking. He blasted Luger over the head with it, and then Stan used the lariat clothesline for Luger. 1, 2, 3. New WCW United States Champion Stan Hansen. And the main event was for the WCW World Championship. It was the man they called Stain, who was the WCW World Champion, defending his title against a member of the Four Horsemen, Sid Vicious. I am the man. I am the master, and I'm the ruler of the world. This was a controversial match because they had a screwy ending. Sting was fighting with the Horsemen stuff and with Flair and Anderson, but when he was fighting with Flair and Anderson, another Sting popped up in the ring, and the Sting tried to slam Sid Vicious. He couldn't. Sid Vicious lands on Sting for the 1, 2, 3. Sid Vicious is the new WCW World Champion, or so they say, or so they thought. But when Sid was declared the WCW World Champion, the real Sting broke loose from Flair and Anderson, and when the referee saw that, there were 2 Stings, and he restarted the match, and Sting beats Vicious for the 1, 2, 3 to retain the WCW World Championship. That's the fake Sting that was pinned by Sid Vicious was fellow Four Horsemen member Barry Windham, who was not doing anything of note too much in WCW. When he came back, he was just a member of Four Horsemen, but he wasn't pushed serious and stuff because he was, at this point, kind of out of shape and stuff. And that was how the pay-per-view ended. What did I think about this pay-per-view card? It was a mediocre pay-per-view. I'll give it another C. There were some good moments, but a lot of other moments were just filler and crap. And that's about it on this video blog. I'll be back later on in the day for 2 more video blogs. One will be about the 2015-2016 NBA preview, and the third and final video blog of the night will be about Cleveland Cavs power forward and center Kevin Love. Like I always say, keep calm, everybody. And I'm a Julie Brennan guy. Elizabeth Hart of News 6 rocks and has nice legs. Molly Rosenblatt so stunning. Heidi Pratt has the best legs in the world. And in the words of 16-time World Heavyweight Champion and WWE Hall of Famer Nature Boy Ric Flair, to be the man, you gotta beat the man. Whoa! See you later.